Imagine being excluded from something or treated differently solely because of how you look. This could be your race, this could be your gender, this could be even down to the color of your hair. There are so many reasons that people will exclude you or discriminate you based on a physical characteristic. And I have a story to tell about this, which takes us back to once upon a time in France. There was a huge castle. It was magnificent, and it was inhabited by a single prince. And of course, all of his servants and maids and everybody else that keeps the castle running. But this prince would host huge parties all the time. The fanciest girls would come, the richest people would show up, and everybody would be partying. One day there was a storm, and a woman knocked on the door asking to be let in to shield herself from this storm. And the prince looked at her and saw she was old and wrinkly and did not meet his standards of beauty. So he turned her away and was like, "No, I cannot shelter you during this storm." The woman pulls out a rose and puts a curse on the prince. She turns him into someone so ugly. And the only way to get rid of the curse and turn back into a prince is to fall in love. And someone has to fall in love with him as well in that ugly state. And the castle is forgotten about. Years later, in a village, a man stumbles upon the castle when he was going out of the village on a little business trip. And the beast that now inhabits that castle captured this man from the village. Thankfully, his daughter Belle left the village to come find her father and found him stuck in a castle with the beast. Belle decides to take her father's place so her father can return to the village, and she is stuck with the beast for the rest of her life. Once her father gets back to the village, he starts warning everyone of a beast and everything, and they lock him up basically in an asylum because they think he's gone crazy. Meanwhile, Belle is still living with this beast, and they actually start to become more fond of each other and comfortable with each other and hanging out, thankfully, until one day they look in a magical mirror and Belle sees that her father is in trouble back in the village. And her and the beast at this point had just started to kind of fall in love with each other. And she leaves him to go save her father. He lets her leave so she can help her father. And this was upsetting for the beast. He thought this was his one chance to turn back into a prince. And at this point in the story, the rose, all of the petals have almost fallen off of it, which means the prince might be stuck as a beast forever. When Belle gets back to the village, she also tells the villagers of this beast, and they believe Belle, and their mission now is to kill the beast. So they storm into the castle and start destroying everything and trying to attack the beast. And he does not care. He is getting attacked and allowing it because his one love left him, so he thinks he has nothing left to live for. Then he sees Belle coming back to the castle, and that's when he starts to rage a little bit and fight back because his love has returned. And Belle and the beast finally, after that whole shenanigan ends, they finally admit their love for each other, and the beast is able to turn back into a handsome young prince, and the castle is revived. Belle, during that time that she was stuck in the castle, was able to fall in love with the qualities inside of the beast and what was in his heart, rather than just looking at how hairy and big and ugly he was and turning him away. She still let him in and saw him as a friend, was able to make a connection with him even with a hideous appearance. And if you haven't guessed by now, I just told you the story of Beauty and the Beast, classic Disney movie. And the moral of this story in conclusion is to never judge a book by its cover, because the inside may end up holding something amazing and can be full of surprises.